Hey everybody, this is Rozion, and today I want to talk about the very first sprint of ReactRemoteDev. I decided to apply the same planning principles that I have in Increaser.org, where I first analyze my previous actions in the last 2 weeks, my current state, it is usually analytics, and what I should do in the following sprint with the reasoning behind every task. While Increaser.org is my main project, and I worked on it for the last 3 years, ReactRemoteDev is something completely different. I started working on it just at the beginning of this year, and it's still in the validation phase. So in the following sprint, we will find out if it's worth pursuing this product, and if it's not worth it, I will just abandon it and give a report with an explanation why I decided to not continue with this product. At the end of 2020, I spent quite some time searching for a remote React job. Usually the process looks like this. You go to one of these job boards such as RemoteOK, RemoteDev.io, AngelList, and so far, and go over each job, check it, and see if it suits you or not. Some of job boards have good filtration mechanism, some of them don't have any. So at the end of the week, you usually spend up to 2 or 3 hours filtering through jobs. Though there should be some aggregator that takes job from all of these places, put it in one place, and allows you to filter through it easily. But I didn't find quite what I needed. I also looked for newsletters and I found one, but the result wasn't that good. First, I thought about starting a better newsletter with remote jobs that would have a lot of filters and will send you just what you need. But then I started realizing that it is pretty hard to do. Imagine how much time you would need to spend just going over each job posting and taking this raw information and transforming it into specific format. And usually a lot of data will be missing and it will be a very hard task to manage. That's why I decided to start with a niche to make a job board specific for remote React developers. I'll show you what I managed to do so far. Headline is only remote React jobs, so it's clear. And supporting headline is stop checking all the websites, will do it for you. Below I show the last update time so people understand that it is actively maintained and there's always new jobs here, and also a link to my website so if people want to reach out to me they can. There is only one filter right now, so that people could hide locations such as US only, Canada only, North America only, or just Americas only location, and it is a lot of them. So usually people that are from Europe won't be interested in jobs that requires you to be in America's region. Positions are actually for full stack developers, so they require you to know specific backend technology. In such case, I show the list of languages or frameworks that are required. Some front-end developers know backend, some of them not, and most of them that do know backend, they most likely had experience working with Node.js but not with a Ruby or Java. So as a future, most likely I would add specific filters that would allow you to filter the backend part more efficiently. Besides the backend, I also show if the job requires you to know React Native, because some people may not like developing with React Native, so it's good to have this also in the filters. But again, for now there's only one filter because it's the most important one and I don't want to rush with making this up complicated. Right now I only support 3 job sources. It is We Work Remotely, RemoteOK, and AngelList. In order to transform job posting to a link website, I have an extension that takes information it could find and then I go and manually add specific fields. So usually I go over each job post, open this extension. Some fields it fills up itself and it depends on the website. For example, on AngelList extension works pretty good, but on the other side I need to fill up most of the information manually. Of course I build extension myself, and Still, it is manual job. It's not like this extension does everything by itself. It's still a manual process where I need to check some parts and see and try to find what backend technology and stuff like that. But eventually, it is possible to automate most of the process. There are two tasks for the next sprint. The first one is obvious. I need to check the websites every day and fill up the website. And the second task is to figure out if the problem is real, or at least try to figure out. Maybe I won't have a clear understanding, but I would have some. To do this, I will go on LinkedIn and reach out React Remote developers from different parts of the world, because I have a feeling that in some places it could be a problem and in some it is not. For example, in United States, there's so many jobs that most likely they don't need the specific jobs. They could just go to Indeed.com and find lots of jobs there. But maybe it could be a problem still in South America, for example, in Brazil or Colombia. Or then I go to eastern side. I will check maybe some African countries. I would look at Western Europe, Eastern Europe. I would like to check how people in the central Russia search for jobs, because it's completely different time zone from European or Americans. And maybe look lower into Central Asia, maybe Kazakhstan and other countries in this region, and also check countries that are located in South Asia. Also maybe Australia. So I would go through these countries, try to reach out to different people, and at the end I should have some kind of a report. Most likely it would be a Notion page with a table where I would have a conversation, a link to conversation, and key points that I got from talking with these people. The goal is not to pitch. It's very easy to get lost and start pitching the app. That's not the purpose. I need to understand if the problem is real by talking to people in different regions. At the end of the sprint, I should have some understanding, and then we'll go from there. So stay productive.